going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scott and welcome to FudgeMuppet. Today we're getting straight into some amazing Elder Scrolls goodness. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, to be specific. This game holds a very special place in my heart, as it was, in fact, the first Elder Scrolls game I ever played, the home of the Empire, Cyrodiil. It's a beautiful province, and just like Skyrim, the main cities are all vastly different from one another with their own vibes, aesthetics, and adventures. In this video, we're going to explore FudgeMuppet's top 5 cities from Oblivion and exploring what makes each location so sensational. And 3 quick things: if you've never played Oblivion, go play it, and if you don't want quest details spoiled, then this is your warning. Also, no DLC. With all that said and done, let's get right into one of the most nostalgic games for me and many of you guys. Coming in at spot number 5, we have Breville. This city is the Riften of Cyrodiil, you know, in the sense that it's dirtier, shady city in the south of the province. An Imperial woman in Skingrad once told me that Breville is the dark grate of the sewer drain where foul and unappetizing debris collects. It's the poorest and dirtiest of Cyrodiil's towns, and the oldest and shabbiest, the most plagued by criminals, drunkards, and skooma eaters. Also most popular with beast folk and other foreigners. As much as you wouldn't want to live there IRL, these reasons actually sum up pretty well why Breville is so damn cool. Its buildings have a shantytown structure, there's a drug dealer who comes out at night to sell skooma in the alley, and people who have fallen victim to the drug consume it atop the top floor entrance of one of the town's wooden structures. You can run and jump these buildings and jump across the roofs until your heart's content. It is surrounded by swamps, and a river runs through and past the city, separating masses of land which are joined by bridges so that the locals can get around. A strange Argonian named City Swimmer is seen to swim here, and she and the rest of the locals provide for some amusing interactions. The Chapel of Mara resides in Breville as well, and as the goddess of love, she's definitely needed in a place like this. Finally, you have the lucky old lady statue in the center of town, which has a secret of its own that you can discover for yourself. Breville is exceptionally cool, but coming in a spot ahead, we have Jaden Hall at number 4. If you liked the aesthetic of bridges and water in Breville, then you'll love how Jaden Hall has tons of that, but it's rich. Even the poorest residents of Jaden Hall have residences with well-groomed grounds, bright and clean in typical Jaden Hall style. Speaking of style, it's the architectural aesthetics that set Jaden Hall apart from any other Cyrodiilic city. Jaden Hall is in the east of Cyrodiil, closest to the border of Morrowind. Many Dark Elf immigrants fled to Jaden Hall, escaping the rigid society of Morrowind in favor of something more stimulating and commercial. It makes sense considering that Jaden Hall is home to the Divine of Wealth, Zenithar. As a result, the city has a heavy Dunmer influence, leading it to look very interesting. So as you can see, the city is beautiful and uniquely so, but what else makes it so cool? Well, behind the surface of all this, Jaden Hall actually has quite a dark side. The leader of the city guard is corrupt and malicious, the guards themselves often get drunk, the leader of the city mages guild is a murderous evil necromancer, the count is a disliked Dunmer snob who never sets foot in the chapel, and the home of the Dark Brotherhood can be found beneath the surface in a secret sanctuary. Its members also make up seemingly normal folk in the city. Have fun in Jaden Hall, just don't count on the Knights of the Thorn to be as good at protecting the place as they claim to be. Next on the list, we've got Anvil in no less than position number 3. This is the city of sailors and trade, and you can find it on the shores of the Abacaean Sea and the Gold Coast. Originally, it was just a small collection of huts, infamous for being violent havens of people of ill intent, thieves, thugs, and pirates, you name it. Now Anvil is a city of order and prosperity, with large decorated stone buildings, well-respected guild halls, and bustling trade. A beautiful mermaid statue sits toward the east of the town and stands out as a beautiful landmark. Other aesthetic landmarks include the lighthouse and the castle, and you better believe both places have some deeply hidden secrets. Benares Manor also sits proudly as one of the largest houses in Cyrodiil, and you can own it yourself for quite a cheap price, but while Anvil has become a lot more civilized, there are a few rundown buildings remaining, and it still retains some of its scoundrel charm. You see, Anvil has many districts, and outside in the docks area, many illegal goods are sold. People gather here to chat in the sun, and also to plot how they're going to steal your gold and get drunk later. In fact, you're approached by females in Anvil who want to sleep with you and take you to a house outside the city so you can get it on, only to then try to take all of your possessions. There's also a ship docked that's haunted and filled with sailors' ghosts. The count of the city has also mysteriously disappeared yet to return, and remember the player house I mentioned, Benares Manor? Well, it's actually haunted by ghosts and home to a lich. Stay safe. Oh, and should I mention that you come to Anvil's Chapel of Dibella at the start of the Knights of the Nine DLC and get lost in a very interesting situation. Located in the heart of the Westweald Highlands, Skingrad comes flying in at a spot number 2. One of the coolest things about Skingrad is the city layout itself. The Count's Castle actually resides on a mountain outside the city walls with a massive bridge showing you an amazing view, leading you to a nearby path down to the city. Escaping from here during a Thieves Guild quest is one of my most memorable moments. The physical structure of the city itself is also very cool, with the road dividing the city into different sections connected again by bridges. It's arguably the safest, cleanest, and most successful city in Cyrodiil, and it is famous for its wines, cheeses, and tomatoes. In fact, the city has epic vineyards outside of its gates, and it's home to some of the most famous winemakers in all of Tamriel. The master alchemist Sindirian also resides here, as does Salamo, one of the best sweet roll makers in all time. As you'd imagine, the residents are quite wealthy and their houses are massive. You can actually own one of the houses yourself, called Rosethorn Hall, which has a mini quest within. Another awesome crib here is Summit Mist Manor. No one knows who the owner is, but you kill everyone here during a party for the Dark Brotherhood mission. Seriously, one of the most fun quests in the entire game. As the pattern goes, you could expect that there's some kind of trouble in every city, and Skingrad is no exception. There are trouble with vampires, and it's rumored that the Count himself is a vampire. The Mages Guild holds the answer to that secret if you're interested, but I'm sure you can guess the answer for yourself. There's also the town psychopath, Glarthir, who believes that certain people in the town are out to get him, and he thinks that the Blades could be behind it, or perhaps the Marakati Selectives, which is a very cool lore reference. He's so crazy that he offers you a load of money to kill these people, and his quest has a range of fun outcomes. Similarly to Anvil, there's also a haunted house in Skingrad, but this one has no quest related to it. It's just abandoned and locked. Enter at your own risk. Finally coming in at the first place, we have the glorious, the historic, the epic, one and only Imperial City. There is just no way this one couldn't take the cake, and to be honest, there's so much in this dense location that I can't tell you nearly enough in just this time frame. Taking an aerial view of the city, originally in Ayla design, you know it's beautiful and it's just so big. There's so much to see and experience while you're here, and a bunch of stories to be heard and uncovered. You've got the Palace District with the White Gold Tower, and you've got the prison, and you've got the Arcane University of the Mages Guild. There's the Arena District, the arena itself, and the whole quest line within it. There's the Nostalgic Market District, and a variety of shops from which you can purchase some seriously cool gear. And of course, the Temple District, which has massive significance at the end of the game when Mehrunes Dagon invades. The Elven Gardens and Talos Plaza districts, as well as the Arbitorium, are all beautiful, filled with a variety of unique characters, quests, and fascinating secrets. Then you have what is probably my favorite spot in the Imperial City, and that is the waterfront. Unlike the wealthy parts of the city, the waterfront is home to many beggars and also many Thieves Guild members. Joining the Thieves Guild and doing that entire storyline sees you visit this place a lot, and the atmosphere here is so immersive. There's also the 2 ships docked, one which gets lost at sea with you inside during the unexpected quest involving the Blackwater Brigands, and the other ship memorable for the aggressive pirates around it, and how you sneak on board in cargo to assassinate the captain for the Dark Brotherhood. This is only scratching the surface of what there is in the Imperial City, and if you want to take that quite literally, you should also know there's a massive sewer system which runs underneath the city, and you can use it to explore new places and navigate the unseen. It's really extensive, and even many veterans of the game haven't discovered it all. It's truly as large as the city itself, and after saying all of this to you, I can't help but find myself wanting to go back and explore all of Cyrodiil all over again. Thank you so much for watching the video this far, and remember that if you did like it, be sure to subscribe because we've got plenty more Elder Scrolls content on the way. Like the video if you want more Oblivion on FudgeMuppet, and let us know in the comments what your favorite city is. Social media links are in the description. My name is Scott, and I look forward to nerding out with you again very soon.